Blue Protocol is coming back after its cancellation with a new title, a new MMORPG. And we just got an entire Q&A talking about the game, how it's gonna be, and a few of the concerns players have, like autoplay and pay to win. And even though a lot of it seems very good, there's a few things that I'm a bit unsure about. So we're gonna go through them so you can get an idea of whether you should be excited or not for this MMO. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning, and let's get into it. First of all, we're gonna get a lot of new information very soon. I think in July 19th, there's gonna be a closed beta for China, and it seems like a lot of content creators in the MMORPG space are getting contacted for a beta in the West. So we're probably gonna get a lot more information about this game very soon. That being said, this Q&A has a lot to it. I'm not gonna read the entire thing, I'm gonna summarize it for you, but here we go. One of the most important things that they talk about is an auto combo system that currently allows players to stand in place and attack nearby monsters with skills in random order. This does not include auto pathing or full auto combat, which is great. However, the MMO audience in the West strongly dislikes automated combat systems and is concerned about this feature being implemented, potentially trivializing combat and breaking immersion if many players are seen AFK farming simple monsters. And they respond that they want the auto function to solely reduce meaningless grind time in low difficulty areas without compromising on core gameplay. Additionally, they're strictly controlled the rewards for monster grinding, which is to minimize the impact of players AFK farming. Personally, to me, this seems like a very weak answer, because if there is grind that is not fun, then why do you have the grind in the first place? I'm not gonna lie, this kinda sounds to me like very Black Desert type of content, where you're just permanently AFK fishing, essentially just spending money in electricity to get your reward. It's okay to grind in a game, but it shouldn't be automatic. I completely would understand if it works more like the WoW one-button rotation, where you have to press the button each time for it to do the rotation for you. I think those would be okay because you're there, you're pressing the button. But having something that automatically does it instead, where you don't have to press anything, you don't even have to be in the computer for it to work, I think could be very damaging. And I think the only thing that it will truly do is to make it so people AFK more. We'll have to see how it goes, and I hope that this doesn't happen, but I will be very surprised if it doesn't. And considering that every time I read something about this studio and how they manage MMORPGs, it seems like they don't have a lot of experience. I don't think they understand the consequences of a system like this. In the interview, they also ask about pay to win. And they talk about how they don't want any pay to win, they only want pay for convenience options, like currency conversion. According to them, all progression items can be earned through gameplay, and the trading center ensures that even paid boosts indirectly benefit the broader community by circling resources. This could indeed work, but realistically, whenever you have a MMORPG where you can actually buy the currency from real life money, it doesn't end up well. If you have any sort of trading, unless it's limited in some way that usually is also pay to win in some way, it just makes it so it's a very grindy game, and the only way that you can actually go in there and get yourself better gear and better crafting materials and whatever is by converting real life money into the in-game currency. And even though it is definitely possible to have a game that is not pay to win in this way, I'm not sure if I would give them the benefit of the doubt, considering that people have already complained in the China version, in the betas that I've gotten in Asia, that there is a little bit of pay to win in the game. That being said, I'm pretty sure that this has happened not because of the currency system exchange, but for other reasons, and they said that they were working on it, so hopefully they do it correctly. At the end of the day, the game does look pretty cool, and I really want the best for it, but I think it's important to keep an eye on that one in particular, because it is a scary thing to see. They also talk a lot about the content that there will be in this new game, with 20-man raids, 5-player dungeons, and open-world bosses. There also will be a lot of casual content like live skilling, fishing, and of course, as you can see here in this trailer, a lot of parties. There's gonna be a lot of emphasis into housing, which will make it so all the content is relevant and you use it to gather different decorations and hang out with your friends. In a lot of ways, it sounds very much like a game that is going to be focused on social interaction in social hub, in partying, very much like Final Fantasy XIV, which in a lot of ways it works because it is an anime game. They talk a lot about the fact that they want the game to be good for casual and hardcore players, and I really hope that they deliver in this manner. In a lot of ways, this new MMO is very interesting because we don't really have an anime MMO. Something like Genshin Impact, but in an MMO way, it really would be very, very fun. And even if it's not the best game ever, I think a lot of people will be very attracted to it because we don't have anything like it. So I'm very, very excited to see where it actually goes to. But I also worry about how the systems are gonna work. They mentioned this in the post, how they want systems to be there for players to have fun, not to feel smothered by them. That's why they don't want to go for a lot of them. They want to get enough systems so the game is fun to play, but also so players can get in there and play the game, then leave, and then come back whenever they can without feeling like they have a lot to learn. Balancing that while also keeping the game interesting is very, very hard. Guild Wars 2, for example, has had a lot of issues with this, and I hope they can actually make it. They also talk about collaborations with other anime. I know that Mabinogi just did one with Frieren, which is crazy, and I bet that this game will have a lot of this. So I'm very... Whoa, what? I've never seen this trailer. Oh my god, what was that? Regardless, I'm sure we'll get a lot of that in this new MMO, and I'm very interested to see where it actually goes. I wanted to talk also about the new guitar class. There seems to be a new one coming with the beta, and that's pretty, pretty interesting. But sadly, I couldn't find any footage of it. Even on the musical trailer that they released, I think it's down now. I don't know why. But indeed, there seems to be a good amount of classes between the Kingland Knight, which is honestly just a spear guy, a healer here with the Iglas, the Ice Mage for DPS, the God Hunter with DPS, the Aegis Knight for DPS, Nikana for DPS, and a Great Blade Guardian with a tank, which for some reason doesn't have a picture here, but regardless, this and the guitarist will be available. Overall, it's very anime type of MMORPG. I think, you know, you see the game, you look at it, and you know more or less what it's gonna be like. So if you kind of like this kind of stuff, I think it's gonna be great. If you like something like Genshin Impact, I'm sure you'll have fun with it. Will it be a permanent game that'll be just the new anime MMORPG, the new Genshin? Probably not, we never know, but considering how MMORPGs work and how hard they are to develop and how hard it is for people to keep continuously playing it, I don't know. Especially with the things that we talked about, like the autoplay and the currency exchange, they could be very big problems for the game, so we'll have to wait and see what people say. But there you go, let me know what you guys think about this new MMO coming up. I'll definitely try it, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know what's happening, but oof, I don't know. It's kind of scary to try and get excited for games like this. They always betray you in some way, and I want to be positive, I do. But at the same time, it is a Korean MMO. Oh, Japanese MMO, not quite the same. And it did fail one time already, so it is a scary, scary thing. So we'll see what happens though. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning. See you guys around. Love you all. Ciao, ciao.